Amari Creative. Rachel and Allie and I had a conversation last week about what you guys are dealing with and what you are going through. And our heart's cry is to help small businesses. So they invited me in to create this video for you. So first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Becky Lauritsen. I'm the founder of IOME. It's an IOME instead of an IOU, focusing on creating guilt-free self-care. And we do that by partnering with local businesses to offer discounted self-care services and products. So also, I'm a licensed professional counselor, and my soapbox is mental health and self-care. And so when Allie and Rachel and I were chatting, they asked me to create some mental health tips, some coping skills, if you will, around this pandemic and what you guys are going through. So here I am. I have 5 mental health tips on how to get through this pandemic that we are all facing. Now, hear me. These are a little bit more broad, okay? They're not going to be a one size fits all, but they're going to elicit some ideas for you. So get a pen and pad, write them down, and then have a longer conversation. Continue the dialogue after you watch this video. I welcome you to connect with me and have that dialogue with me directly, because your circumstance is going to be so much more unique than mine, than somebody else's, than a coworker's, than another business partner. So it's going to look so different. So just know you are welcome to connect with me directly, and we can talk about your specific situation and how I can give some advice on your coping skills that can help. Okay, so the first one, healthy coping skills, okay? There's a big difference between unhealthy coping skills and healthy coping skills. And I know for me, I am leaning towards wanting all of the unhealthy coping skills, the sleeping in, the drinking in the evening, right? Wine or beer or whatever the case is, eating the comfort foods. The list goes on all of these unhealthy coping skills. So challenge yourself, ask yourself, what are you doing on your day-to-day? How can you start to implement more healthy coping skills, like waking up early, eating healthy, exercising, listening to positive, uplifting music or podcasts. That's the first thing. Identify your healthy coping skills. Increase healthy and decrease the unhealthy. Okay? The second tip is going to be managing your triggers. So when you hear the word trigger, most people think about negative triggers. Yes, we do have negative triggers. And then we also have positive triggers, and I think it's important to recognize both of them. So identify your negative triggers and your positive triggers. For example, negative triggers can be the weather, right? When it snows or when it rains or when it's cold or windy, that is a negative trigger for me. So I have to be able to manage that. I have to recognize that okay, the weather is saying it's going to snow, I better get prepared emotionally. And then there are the positive triggers. So that could be music, uplifting people, connecting with people, doing more video, Zoom conference parties, whatever you want to call them. But make sure that you are implementing those positive triggers and increasing those, and then decreasing the negative triggers. And then the biggest question here is to recognize what you have control over and what you don't have control over in those triggers. A trigger could be the emails that keep coming through, right, about COVID-19. That could be a negative trigger. You don't have control over if your inbox is full of emails, but you do have control over when you choose to sit down and look at those emails, or if you even choose to, okay? So you have control over those, okay? You have control over the reaction around the out of control things, right? You have control over the things that, how you react to the news, how you react to your situation, okay? The third one is dress for success. I know this one seems super silly and a little bit insignificant, but it is critical for our mental health and our emotional health. So I'm not saying every day, but on your working days, 3 days a week, right? 4 days, 5 days, I don't know what your schedule is, but commit to a few days a week of waking up, showering, getting dressed, doing your hair, doing your makeup, whatever it is, but dressing for success. Wear the thing that's going to make you feel confident. Because if we're in, this is me, if we're in our PJs, if I'm in my yoga pants, if I don't wash my hair for a few days, if I don't put on makeup, I am not feeling confident. And so when those emails come in, or when I have a phone call, or when I see my bank account, it is a spiral, right? I'm already not feeling confident, and then these triggers, right? These would be negative triggers are coming in, and it's making me feel very defeated, and really can be eliciting some of those negative emotions like depressive symptoms, anxiety, stress, things like that. So dress for success. The fourth one would be to clear the clutter. So again, trying to focus on what you have control over. If you are working from home, which most of us are, I think almost all of us are, small businesses, if you're working from home, clear your clutter. Figure out what you need to do in order to feel very ignited in your working space, right? You want to feel energized. You want to feel excited. You want to feel in control of your working space. So I've learned that my working space at home isn't that great, to be honest. I've got kids in there, I've got their toys all over, it's just a mess. So I know that I need to clear that clutter the night before I go to bed. I need to make sure the dishes are done in the dishwasher. I need to clear the clutter from the mail, from all the things, the kids' toys, etc. And that way, when I wake up on my working days, when I wake up and I feel ready and refreshed and energized to tackle the work that I have to do. Okay, the fifth and final mental health tip that I want to give you today is your self-care. This is my soapbox, of course, you guys. I cannot emphasize this one enough because there are so many things that are draining you right now. And I don't know exactly what you're going through. Please contact me and let me know. I'd be happy to have a conversation. But I imagine that there's some really scary things happening, right? If you're a massage therapist and you're not able to do your job, that's scary, right? And so the financial implications of that, the emotional implications, there's so many things. So think about your cup, right? We've all heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. And this is the time to make sure that you are filling your cup with the good, solid, quality things like your mental health, like your healthy coping skills, like your productivity, right? Your loved ones, family, friends. Make sure you're filling your cup with those high quality things, and that way you have enough to pour out into your business, right? You've all seen it and you've heard it that this is the time to tackle the online course that you've been wanting to do. This is the time to declutter your workspace as far as like your emails and your your email campaigns, things like that. Yes, true, totally. But you have to make sure that your cup is full enough in order to do those things. Does that make sense? Because if you're allowing the negativity to fill your cup, if you're allowing the junk, the fears, the concerns, if you're allowing all of that to fill your cup, you will not have any room for the good. And you will only be pouring out that negative to your loved ones, to your clientele, to your employees. So make sure that you are doing the things that are going to add value to your day-to-day. Okay, that is the true definition of self-care. It is the things that add value, the things that energize you. Similar to those coping skills, okay? Me going outside on a beautiful day, that's critical. That is so good. That energizes me on a whole nother level, right? And so I know that I have to write that in my calendar and make sure I go do that. Okay, so that's the fifth and final. And then the last thing that I want to leave you with is taking a deep breath and recognizing that this is hard, okay? This is hard, and there's going to be days that you're going to have great productivity, successful, you're going to feel energized, you're going to have this like grip on your emotions and your thoughts. And then there's going to be days that you are a mess. Okay, there's going to be days that you need to rest because your body is exhausted from the emotions that you're feeling. And so listen to your body, and I'm giving you permission right now to be okay with surviving when you need to survive and then thriving when you get to thrive. Does that make sense? You get to choose on that. So I hope this is helpful. Connect with me. You can always go to my email or my social media or my website. It is www.iowemenow.com. So it spells out iowmenow.com. And those are my social media handles as well. And then just reach out if you have any questions or thoughts, because we are here for you. I'm so grateful that you heard this message, and I'm praying for you guys. So thank you all so much for watching.